Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Ally Martin.
Hello.
Today, Ally and I will be discussing the 2015 Kyoto Animation anime series, Sound Euphonium, also known as Hibike Euphonium, or like Euphonium. I guess you have to add the U at the end. We're going to be covering the entire anime series. It's the first time we've really done just discussing an anime, but this is something we should do more in the podcast. And this is kind of a recent one. This is the most recent Kyoto Animation series, except they're airing a new one.
Today.
Like today, right?
Whoops.
We could talk about that later. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to talk about this. Hopefully more anime content and stuff like that. If you have not seen this series, we are going to talk about spoilers, but there's not that much to spoil here. So honestly, you could probably listen.
Come on.
There's nothing happens. So
well, stuff does happen. Kind of.
There's some.
It's Kyoto Animation, so stuff happens for them.
Yeah, and we'll discuss Kyoto Animation as a whole and because there's some interesting comparisons to make and stuff like that. But yeah, so spoilers warning, although I think it's safer than normal if you have not seen it.
Come on.
I assume most people have not seen the series.
Probably not.
I don't know how popular this one was.
On Tumblr it was, but we'll get to why.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if your listeners will know the series, but people on the internet know about it because it's an anime.
There's a lot of animes. That was not the most.
Well, I can't spoil it. We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's get into what do I have first on here? So first let's get into how we watched. We're probably going to call it Hibike Euphonium.
We could just call it Hibike.
Hibike too, yeah. So that's show title.
Sound.
We both watched it subtitled. I don't think there's a dub for this.
No,
yeah.
Thank God.
It just came out, so that's probably why.
It finished last summer, so
yeah. This was a spring 2015 show in anime terms, which means it aired April to June.
June,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because the summer anime start in July. So. You watch? When did you watch this? Did you watch this as it was airing, or did you
Yeah, as it was airing in Japan. My friend, it was actually on TV once in the dorm, and we just watched it. And then after that, I'd watched it on the computer.
Ali was actually in Japan, when this.
I was.
Right? So you actually watched it on TV in Japan.
I did one time without subtitles, and I understood most of it, but there were stuff. There were things I was fuzzy on because I'm not fluent. So then I went online and I watched the episode with the subtitles, and I was like, oh, okay, this is normal Kyoto Animation, but I liked it, so I thought I'd continue. And also the animation was not much better, but you see it's a lot better than previous shows have been. So I was like, okay, I'll continue. I don't know what's going to happen, but
so give us some background on you, because you're actually legit, and I'm just a guy who doesn't know Japanese.
I'm actually legit. What is that?
You actually know Japanese, and you studied a semester in Japan. So
I do. No, I studied a year in Japan, man.
Yeah. Wow, that was long.
I know. I can speak Japanese, but I'm not fluent. I can watch most anime without subtitles, but I'll have to, pause and be like, what did they say sometimes? And I'll have to look it up. But for the most part, with a show like this, I don't really need subtitles. So
pretty basic dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah, basic dialogue, conversation. But if they're talking about because it's a music anime, so they're using music terms, and I'm like, what are they talking about in certain parts? So I wouldn't get it, but I don't know. Is that me being a legit?
No, yeah, I think it makes you legit because you know Japanese and stuff, and you know Japan culture, so you're the expert on this.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into, but I don't. Yeah. I don't want your listeners to trust me as a dictionary for everything Japanese. So I don't know.
We're not gonna say what does this word mean anyway. Just
no, not the language, just the culture even. Yeah. There's some stuff I'm not even sure about, but
okay. Yeah, this is a lot of music culture and stuff like that, and I know one of the hard things when you learn a language is technical terms in certain areas, right?
Well, I'm also just talking about the culture because the character interaction. We'll get into that. I want to explain something, but I don't know if it's completely accurate.
Okay. I definitely want to discuss Japanese culture with regard to the main relationship on the show.
Yeah, that was what I was getting at.
So, let's talk about that. Okay, so, so we watched. I watched it as it was airing. I just marathoned it, basically this week, and I watched some of the episodes with Ali and some of them on my own. And I was watching it subtitled, of course. So.
OVAs.
And we just watched the OVA, right? So that just came out in December, and then we watched little short things. Dumb. You don't need to watch this. The OVA also isn't great if you haven't seen it yet. It's not that important.
It's boring.
It's about all the side characters.
The
Typical.
main
Oh,
character's in there for like 2 seconds.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
So you were talking about this a little bit already. The visuals, the
yes.
main relationship. What stands out to you about this show over other, similar slice of life or Kyoani shows?
Hmm. Well, the main character, the girl, she seems to me not like a typical Japanese girl, and I feel really like racist saying that, but she's like much more. Well, the reserve part is still there, but she's like much more. I don't know how to put this. She's not like typical girly, like oh my god, like oh my god, I should confess to this guy or whatever. Like that's a lot. Like a lot of that happens in slice of life. Even like in what was it in K-On? There was an episode about like what was it? Like they had like lyrics and they were like, "Oh my god, is it a love letter from a guy?" And like in this, there was nothing like that. So I kind of like that. But you mean like in terms of animation or like the characters?
Anything that like stands out? Yeah, you talked about it a little bit. I think that's a good point
Mhm.
about the main character. And yeah, you're
And
right. You're right.
like the way she talks, even like it. Well, I'm not sure about like the dialect or whatever, but the way like her mannerism for speech in Japanese is not the typical like, you know, quote unquote girl talk. Like I don't know how to say this. Like joshikuchi.
It's
I
hard
don't
to
know.
describe in English.
It's
Yeah.
hard to
I
translate.
mean,
Or,
this isn't what you're talking about. The Wikipedia page says she speaks standard Japanese, which is rare in Kansai.
well, yeah, yeah,
Did
that's not.
did that translate to the anime? Because I think that's more about the novels that it's based on.
No, that I think it did. Yeah, she was speaking Tokyo dialect, but I'm talking about like whether she had like a like boyish way of speaking or a girlish way. So like
Yeah.
that is different, and I feel like in comparison to like a lot of animated Japanese series out there, this was different. I mean, there are a lot of girls like that, but they're if they do talk like that, they're mostly like they use boku or something like that, so they're like super boyish, and she was like not that way. So I like that. Uh,
Even in a show like K-On, right? Like, whereas there's no romance, basically. They still
yeah,
had those scenes with like, it's
yeah,
like, oh, is this a guy confessing? It's like that's like always the default to assume. And
exactly.
this show did it a little bit, but it was definitely less, especially with the main relationship being a girl one.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is the main thing that draws us both to the show, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, let's be
I will
real.
not lie. I was gonna get to that, but I wanted to be legit for a minute.
I mean, that is legit. Like, it's very distinctive compared to other, other slice of lives. I mean,
And
it's like very rare to have a show like this where there's just like a subtle main romance with this, which is just female female. Usually in anime, it's either like a Yuri show or it's like,
or
um,
it's like, as a joke.
yeah, right, or yeah. So this is just it was kind of like very.
I don't even know, but like
It was
it
kind of
was.
like subtly presented, and it just wasn't. It wasn't like it's not a romance show, but it's just like what
It
what the main
seemed like
relationship is.
yeah, it just seemed like something that was happening on the side, and it was like completely normal. And I also like that. I don't know.
What's also what I think is really weird, and I have not read the novel that this is based on,
You mean?
but like I don't think that's a thing in it. That's
No, it's not. I think actually, I was reading something. I think she gets with the
at
guy.
the end, yeah. And we're not done with the story yet, so they still could pull that crap.
No, yeah,
But
they could
yeah,
because they didn't play it up as much as they did in the anime with the um in the novels. They didn't play it up as much as they did in the anime.
so yeah,
So
so there's gonna
they
be
changed.
a second season of this. There's also a movie, but I think it's just a recap movie, so that's
I think
nothing
so. Yeah,
nothing there.
which pisses
Um,
me off.
yeah, those are real. I don't know why they do that. It's really annoying. I mean, I guess it's for some reason, but
I
uh,
guess it's for some reason. I don't know if you don't want to watch the whole series, it's useful, but
yeah, but like
stupid.
okay, so like I think that this and it's the most interesting thing to me about the show is the lead female romance, but it's just like I feel like this represents a trend in Kyoto Animation for like them kind of going for more of these types of non-traditional romances in their shows. Like you look at their history and there's just nothing for a while, and then you get into like Tomoko Market, and they kind of have a one there, right? They have feelings, like one
Yeah.
girl having feelings for another girl, and then you get into Free, where I didn't see the second
It's
season, so
so
I
good.
don't know if that's just
God,
like
we have to talk about Free. Why
I
didn't we
haven't
do
seen
that
the second
first?
season yet.
Well,
Okay,
you have to. Why haven't I been on your butt about this?
well
Like,
you were for the first season. That's the only reason why.
no, but the second season's so much like gayer
So like okay,
and
like
better.
you don't without spoiling it for me too much. Like the first season of Free was not as legitimately gay, and we're using gay in a colloquial
Yeah,
umbrella term sense. It's fine. No, I
I feel bad.
that's gaining wider acceptance, honestly, in the community. using
I know,
gay in
yeah.
place of queer, and I think
Yeah.
it's fine. I mean,
That's
not that
yeah.
I'm the
I
expert.
mean, I'm okay with it, but I'm
Okay, yeah.
not. Whatever.
So was I don't think that the first season of Free was like as legitimately presenting a
No, it was not, but
male
the
male
second
romance like
was.
this one was. So is the second season actually closer to what this series does with the main relationship?
See, I wouldn't say it's closer to what this series does because it's, I don't know, they make it different. Maybe because it's with guys, but I feel like it's as close as it would be to them being like with this series because it's with guys because it's really different. But it's a lot.
do you think that this series is as close as they're gonna get with like you described it as that?
I don't want to say yes, but it's as close as I've seen with like a legit anime that's not a Yuri anime or that's, showing it as a joke. But I haven't seen that many anime, so
I
I'm
think
not.
for me for just for Kyoto Animation, I'm surprised they had
Oh,
a
me too.
series that kind of went this far, right?
Shocked. I mean, I'm really happy about it, but like
Like
it's
I mean there's gonna be like so this is a series where there's not like the main romance is not explicitly super explicitly labeled as a romance. It kind of is at one point.
it
Um,
like is
it is.
honestly.
There's one scene, right? So where it is,
Yeah.
but outside of
There's
that, you could, if you're using your super hetero lenses, you could like, you could like see it as a
yeah.
friendship, right? Because there's no like explicit kiss, but that's pretty normal for romance stories, like especially
That's the
beginnings of
thing.
romance stories, like not having like giant like dramatic kisses. That just seems to
Yeah.
me like a very Japanese thing to do.
Oh my God, yeah, it is. No, totally. But that's the thing too, is that's why I don't know if I could say the second season of Free was on par with that because it's so different. But with guys, and especially how they are in Japan, I think it would be on par with that.
Okay, so maybe this is like a certifiable trend with Kyoto Animation now.
I think so. And also like there's still more free stuff coming out. Like they're doing like a flashback movie or whatever, and even that looks like even more gay. So I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen it, but I so far I would say this is maybe as far as they would go before, stuff changes in the world.
Let's talk
I
about subtle homophobia with regards to animes quickly. Like this series,
Not so subtle homophobia.
I feel like the way the series is treated. You look on the Wikipedia page, and it's like
hmm
Yuri is not a genre on it. There's not going to be any mentions of this main female romance. Like you look at the descriptions for the episodes on Wikipedia for this, and none of them are like there's a confession of love in the second or third to last episode, right? Like that happened, and they didn't. It's like it's people assume with stuff like this that it's not an explicit thing unless it is explicit, which isn't really new for. It's not really a specifically Japanese thing. Like it obviously happens with American TV too, but
Yeah,
I feel like that's applied to this series. I feel like there's a lot of people
I
who would
agree.
watch the series and just not understand somehow
Oh
that
yeah,
it
I
is
mean that's
that it's a
I mean
romance.
that's what I was saying before is like probably the main reason Tumblr's into the show is for, the girl ship. But there are some people like, I would go on the tags and they'd be like, "Oh my God, no, you guys are just like you're reading too much into it," like how I don't want to bring up Kurosami, but like how people did with that. So, people are like that with anime too. I would say a majority of people are like that, especially Japanese people, unfortunately.
Yeah, so like, okay, that's really the only mention I want to make of that because like what actually is happening in the series is that this is a constant throughout. Like, the series is primarily about like
Music.
the being in a concert band club, right? That's
hmm
what it is. And then the B plot, like the second biggest plot in the series, is this developing romance between two of the female leads. Like it's just like what the show is about, and it's
Yep.
just a constant. And in the beginning, it's like, what are they doing? Because it's like really weird because they're not even talking, and it's like if they're going for this girl thing, then this is going to be feelings, right? And it's
hmm
like I'm skeptical that they're actually going to do that, but and then it actually is. It makes perfect sense
Yep.
because that's just what they go for. Um, let's talk about big. I don't. What do you think is notable about this? They kind of have a weird dynamic.
The relationship, you mean?
Getting into the specifics of the two of them, like
Uh,
in the beginning what's over them is like this past event in middle school that they're trying
yeah.
to get past or whatever but then
Or
one
that, well, the main character is the other girl seems to be like over it and not give any.
yeah, she seems to have not remembered it at all, and just
Yeah.
her shyness I guess was holding it back. I don't know, holding it back. And then they get
Maybe.
into then they're close and stuff, and they get kind of into a traditional like seemingly relationship without almost like
Without saying it, kind of.
yeah, like because it's like they're supporting each other, which is like the
Because
biggest thing.
there's
And
that also that one scene. I don't want to bring up, I mean, because it's a Japanese thing. Like they have this whole stigma about calling people certain names, and when you call someone by their first name and like with no,
Hmm.
attachments to it, then it's like, oh, things are serious, or like they're really close. And it just happened, like not really out of nowhere, but
That was like episode what, like 6 or something around there.
eight
Yeah, it was pretty early on.
was the
Um,
one I made you watch with me.
that was 8? Okay. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like that's the beginning. Like it's that's a big moment is when Reina calls
Or no, Kumiko makes her no,
Reina
Reina makes
makes
Kumiko call her
Kumiko
by her
call her
first
by
name.
her first name. Yeah, which in Japanese culture is a big like sign of closeness, right?
Hmm.
So that was a big moment. And then what else did they have?
Also, she like touches her face, which is not a Japanese thing to do at all.
Which was episode 8. Oh, episode 8's the festival one. Okay, so then yeah,
Mhm.
and then they're at the top of the thing, and then she's like runs her finger down her
Yeah,
face, right? I was like,
it's
whoa, that's
really
supercharged.
gay.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Yeah,
That's where everyone, lost it.
yeah, I didn't. I that was very bold considering that they hadn't like even
Yeah, that's what's not what stood out to me, but like when I was, going on with the show, I was kind of waiting for them to like do something with them, but I didn't think that would happen. And when it did, I was like, okay, I have to keep going now. What are they going to do next?
like
So
Kumiko's like follows a fairly traditional model of how to express her feelings, but Reina's just like kind of
Rena's like American.
she's like super bold and it's pretty striking in a world
God, Japanese people listening to this, please don't hate me. I swear I'm totally uh,
in a country with very like
reserved
reserved and like
people.
held back. Like yeah, like
I
it's
mean, it is that way. I'm not gonna lie. I was there.
I
That's
I feel like their dynamic is like Reina just asserts herself like
yeah.
as her
I mean,
girlfriend
she speaks her
basically.
mind, and that's like
Yeah, and it's like Kumiko takes a little bit to adjust before eventually like saying
she
like I'm
follows her lead. Yeah.
yeah saying like I'm confessing to you in episode 11, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
But like even other than like their relationship, Reina on her own is also what stood out to me for the show because she just really speaks her mind and that's a really not Japanese thing to do. Especially to like people who are older.
Yeah, let's talk about the characters. For we kind of talked about the relationship before talking about the characters. So what you bring up Reina? So Reina is her role in the show is a little bit weird because she's like not a main
Yeah.
character and then she is a main character.
She like kind of is, but like in secret.
It's
I
like
don't know.
there's four leads for this, but and usually you'd expect the four leads to be a group, but she's like probably not part of a group with the like it's like Kumiko, Hazuki, and Midori are friends, and then
Safaya.
Safaya, that's yeah, exactly. And Reina is Reina's just like
In the
also
background.
Reina's like Kumiko's girlfriend, like off to the side. Yeah.
Like actually.
But that's like no, but
That's
I know
actually how it
I
is.
know it's funny, but like that's actually what's happening here. So what do you think of let me talk about Kumiko first. Let's start with her. So I don't know. I really like Kumiko in this show. I agree that she's like notable for not being like as girly. I think how I guess I would try to like define it by saying that she seems less swayed by traditional female Japanese gender roles. Like it doesn't seem like she cares as much about a lot of that. Like we don't see her doing the typical girly things I think a lot that you would expect.
Yeah. Except for the whole like, oh, there's that annoying scene where she's like, "Oh, I thought my boobs would get bigger because I'm in high school
Oh
now." Or
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. She's
that.
very concerned about yeah, about that.
I mean, that's like just annoying, but that's
And you say
probably
that that's like a legitimate thing in Japan.
it is. I mean, it's a. I don't
Because
know if
this is a
it's.
very typical anime thing, and it could just be a sexist anime trope. But
I want to say it's a girl thing, but I feel like that alone is sexist too. But
I
like,
mean,
it's
it's kind of a thing here too, right?
it is,
But
but
like,
especially in Japan,
do you think that
especially.
that's true to life in Japan, or is it just like a sexist anime trope?
Mm, I mean, I personally would have like friends come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, like I wish, I was your size or something." But like it would happen a lot. But like I've also just seen it in a lot of anime too.
Yeah,
I've never, seen like a random woman on the street looking in a mirror like, "I wish my boobs were bigger." But I would say it's a thing, especially because it's in a lot of shows and like people jab at it a lot. So I'm assuming it's a thing.
yeah. I mean, they're 14, 15, right?
Yeah.
Like it makes sense for
But
them.
I don't want to like stereotype girls in general, but a lot of them are that way at that age too. Here, so.
Yeah, they are here. Yeah, I would agree. But like, I think the insistence on this being a
Oh
thing
yeah.
in like every anime
No, yeah, I
is
would
annoying.
say then
That was really the only annoying thing I think this show
it
did.
was very annoying, but it was a thing. But otherwise, yeah, I would agree. You don't see her like, putting on makeup or
Mhm.
prepping or anything.
Yeah.
She puts her hair up once, but
She puts
like
her hair in a
that's it.
ponytail on the first day, and like that's her big fashion statement, right? And
Yeah, she never does it
yeah,
again.
and no, she does it in the last episode too. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that's
Oh yeah. Well,
that's how
that's
she looks fancy apparently.
yeah.
Yeah. Kumiko is pretty quiet. if she's a little bit the typical main character. She's almost like what the you would expect the male. You know what I like about Kumiko is that it's for this reason. Like I feel like the Kumiko is the typical male lead of a series.
That's why I like her too.
Like
Because
the male lead of like every male focused anime series is just like quiet and kind of nondescript and has the show revolve around them. But
that's
like when you have a female led anime series, it's like K-On! Where like
they're loud
or like
and
you has
annoying.
to be like loud and energetic. They have to be a Genki girl lead.
Yeah,
But
that's what I like about her too. That's what I
yeah,
was trying to say
but
earlier.
yeah, that's why I feel like she subverts like these type of generals. She's just like kind of like a male lead. But I also think her characterization is pretty decent. Like there's one episode. I think the show suffers because of there's too many characters. But there's
Oh
one
yeah.
episode that pretty much focuses on her. I think it was 12
Oh, that's the
when
one
she's
where she
trying to learn the new part of
song.
of this. I'm really bad with the concert band terms. There's it's the
She's
piece
learning a new section of a
of the
piece, yeah, and
piece,
she
yeah.
can't do it.
That like their advisor assigns the is like, can we add the youths into this part too? Because he thought it was like bland, and then she's like having a lot of trouble with it, and that was a really strong episode for her.
I agree.
But I think she does get lost a little bit with all the side characters, but she does have her moments. I think if you're gonna criticize her, you would say that there's not like enough characterization for her.
Yeah.
But I do really like her overall.
You do really like what?
I do really like her overall, though. I think that
Oh, I do
she's a
too.
successful character.
That was you worded it well. I mean, I didn't want to like say like she seems like a guy lead, but I that's how I saw her too because she's so quiet and like not a lot of girls who lead in anime are like that. You know, they're like how you said like the Genki girl and that is tiring. So that's also what stood out to me from her.
Yeah,
And I think Reina was kind of the same. I mean, she wasn't like, quiet per se, but she still wasn't like, you know, energetic and like in your face all the time.
yeah.
That's probably what annoyed me about the other two girls is that they were. So I was like,
Okay,
oh, you're boring.
we'll talk about each of them. Yeah. Okay. So well, and then the last, and Kumiko, of course, super cute. So she's
Oh my
great.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
kawaii.
yeah. But like, she's just like
I'm fluent in Japanese.
without being like cutesy though. That's the yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Which we talked about.
And also Reina is bae,
Okay, let's talk about Reina. So Reina, I feel like is
my wife.
you know what's also awesome about Reina is she's also kind of a gender subversion because
Exactly.
you would expect her to be the love interest to a female led anime, and she's like the dark and mysterious guy. Except
Yeah.
she's the love interest
Dark
in a
and mysterious girl.
yeah, she's the love interest in a female led anime, but she's still like the dark and mysterious girl. Like it's and
Hmm.
she's I don't know, she's like talented.
The
She's
only thing that annoys me is that cliche that we're not going to talk about because it didn't happen. That one thing with the teacher that didn't happen.
yeah, there's a they this the series sets up tries to do a lot of plot lines and then doesn't like follow through. I don't know. There's one thing where it's like, okay, are we gonna do a romance between Reina and the the advisor? But
No, the professor, the
yeah,
conductor.
yeah, he's their main advisor, right? And then the other one's the
No,
second.
the woman is the advisor.
Well,
He's
she's
like
the
the
no, I think he's the advisor and then she's the secondary advisor.
oh whatever. He's just I refer to him
Taki,
as
what do they call him? Taki what?
Taki Sensei.
Taki Sensei, yeah. So I don't know. They had something going on there, but they didn't do it, so it's fine. You know, they
Yeah,
didn't.
so it doesn't exist.
But overall, I mean, I think her characterization is a little thin. But I don't think she's supposed to be a super
Yeah,
like
she
big
doesn't.
lead.
I mean, I don't know about the light novel or like the whatever it is, but she just didn't come up too much. They didn't really have that many episodes, so I don't really want to blame it on it. And there is a second season coming out, so
Yeah,
I want to like hold out for potential more character development,
yeah.
or
Uh,
not even development, just like tell
she's
me
like
more.
kind of absent from the first 6 or so episodes. Then she's pretty heavy in the last ones. I mean, some
Hmm.
big things with her is she's very talented and she takes the solo away
A senior.
from the senior, right? And she's kind of I guess the main thing is that she's like resolute throughout that and she like doesn't give in.
Hmm.
She practices with Kumiko a lot, which is great. But
Yes, it is.
yeah. And she's kind of and then of course she's like pretty bold with like their festival trip and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, with
That
her
one.
finger down the face. Yeah, you know.
Yep.
And I think the other thing with prominent thing about Reina is like she's super pretty. Like
Oh my god, she's gorgeous.
like
She's my wife.
we'll talk about this with animation, and it's just like this is just a constant trend throughout the series. Like, the series has super incredible animation, and like I feel like this is like the series has like the most attractive characters like out of any I've seen. But like through
Oh
like,
my God.
but like across the board. Like I'm not like making like a sexual statement. I just mean like
No, I know, but
they're
like I
like
mean,
very appealing like
I
across
do
the.
think you're biased to KyoAni a little bit.
Well, I think KyoAni is the best animation of any
They do,
animation
I mean, they have
series.
really
But
great
like other
animation, but
even compared to other KyoAni animations, like I think that this is like
well, yeah, because it's the newest one.
that. Well, that's probably the reason. But like every character is like
Yeah,
super
hot.
beautiful in this.
Everyone is hot in
Yeah,
this.
everyone like so
Like even the people I hate are hot. Like that
exactly.
girl, I hate her, but she's pretty.
We'll talk about a second. Oh, let's talk quickly about Hazuki and Safai-chan.
Do we have?
I like Hazuki.
I know you do.
She
She's
they don't do that much with her. She's
no,
more of
that's
a
why
she's more of a traditional friend. The
she's the
traditional.
traditional Genki girl, and that's why she annoys me.
Yeah, but she's also not even that Genki, right? Like,
But she is. She is. She is. Even when she gets rejected, she's Genki. I'm like, oh my God, shut
well,
up.
she's upbeat. Yeah, true. I guess that it's one.
I mean, she's not. I don't hate her, but like, if someone like that like were in real life, I'd be like, get away from me, please.
Okay, well, I don't think it's how you should
I
evaluate
feel
characters,
bad.
but yeah.
Well, no, I know, but I mean,
I like Hazuki. I think she's somewhat of an unsuccessful character because like I can't say that much about her, and she's kind of boring. So
she's
that's what I'd say about her.
she's funny, but she's
Like here's the main point I want to make. Outside of Kumiko and Reina, like there's not many characters who are distinctively characterized. Um,
Asuka Senpai.
Asuka's, I mean, there's a lot of good side characters. Like I think Asuka Senpai is like a very good side character,
Yeah,
uh,
but she's
but it's like how
a side
here's
character.
how I describe the show. Okay, so let me make like my like profound point about this now. It's not profound.
Oh,
It's just
oh
kind of
boy,
interesting.
here we
It's just
go.
kind of interesting. It's like this show is about concert band and
Yes.
K-On! Is about the light music club. Now, the light music club is like 4 or 5 members, and K-On! Is just like hyper focused on its main cast of 5. Whereas this show is about a giant concert band with 50 people, and like as such, like it's just trying to like show us almost everyone in the band, and like it's not able to have as good characterization for its main cast as K-On! Because like we're just spending time. There's like legitimately 15 side characters in this anime that like get as much time as a side character in a different anime.
There
Like
is not legitimately
no, like I'm
15.
sorry. I think we'll try to count them as we go. Like I think that there's like main type like the OPs, the openings on animes, like show the main cast and they quickly show all the side characters, and usually it's like 4 people. I think that there's probably 15 people in the series
There's
that would
definitely
qualify for
okay, I
that.
will like count it out.
Well, we'll count.
You're
Let's go
talking
through
about
them,
side people or including main characters?
including including main characters.
Okay, so there's Kumiko,
There's
Reina, Hazuki, Sapphire, that boy whose name I forget.
okay. Let's go. I have the little character list here. Let's go through
Oh
this.
God, all right.
Well, quickly. Oh wait, quickly. Safaya-chan though is kind of an absurd character.
Midori.
She has like one shtick, which is that everyone calls her Sapphire, and then she's like Midori. So there you go. That's everything you need to know about her. So
Yeah, pretty much. And
uh,
she's a little tiny girl who plays a huge instrument.
yeah, that's the shtick. It's not she's not that much character. Okay, Asuka Senpai is probably the best of the side
Also my wife.
characters. She's very like funny.
She has the most personality out
Yeah,
of
she's the
anybody.
most personality, which is kind of I feel like a
Sad.
Japan thing. Like she's kind of bold, like so she stands out among timid people. Is
Oh
that
yeah.
do you agree with that? Like
You
she's
you mean like an anime as a side character, like that they're like that?
like in animes that you're more likely to have pretty like like not like not bold people than you would find on American shows. If that
Like as what, as a lead role as opposed to a back
just
character?
any characters like
Well, it depends on the anime.
I guess that's true. Well, slice of life animes, which is what I meant.
Depends. I don't know. I mean, it really depends. I would say, I guess so. Like someone as bold as her, and like
Definitely in
as
this concert band,
comedic
she
as her, I would
stands out.
say,
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think's
it's
notable about her?
her English. No,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
she
mean,
does use English sometimes. Yeah.
she just makes a lot of jokes, but then there is that one scene where where she's like, what is it? Kumiko's like interrogating her, like, "Hey, what do you think?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm the vice president. I can't voice my opinion." And then she's like, "Just really tell me." And she's like, "Well, I don't really care one way or the other." So it's like, "Oh, okay, you're
They
kind of like
they tried to give Asuka a little bit of character, like actual characterization, with her like being
they tried
apparently
to
like her unwilling to step into the lead. They're like everyone wanted her to be president, but she didn't want to be president, and like and yeah, and she doesn't like want to get involved in like politics of the club and stuff, right? So they try to give her flaws and stuff. Um, But yeah, I think she's a very successful side character.
Yeah,
We have Haruka. Who's Haruka? She's the
the
president. Okay,
saxophone girl.
she's president, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I really like her, but like she's not that much of a
She's
character.
adorable, but she's timid, and that's typical Japanese person.
She's adorable, yeah, basically. And I don't think she's that much of a character, but let's okay.
No.
Kaori Senpai, right? Yeah, she's the red hair or eyes, one of them.
Eyes. Oh my God,
Red
she's like.
eyes, yeah, and she's the one who competes with Reina for the trumpet solo. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that she's not supposed to be characterized deeply, but like all you know about her,
I feel
everyone
like you're
loves her.
supposed to be able to sympathize with her, and I really just did not care,
I don't really care
honestly.
about her that much either, honestly. We have we have Suichi, the guy, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we can skip him,
Well, let's talk
obviously.
about Suichi because I think Kyoani has been successful in the past with the male friend among a group of girls, like in what's it called? Tamako Market.
I was waiting for you to bring that up,
What's his
but
what's his name?
Mochizo?
Mochizo. Yeah, I think he's like a really good character, and I feel like Suichi is like lesser Mochizo in like every way.
I
That's
agree, but to be fair, I don't think Mochizo was too much of a great character to begin with. So, I mean, he was just there to be the love interest, and that's literally it. So
I
that's
felt sympathetic for him. I didn't feel super sympathetic for Suichi. I don't know.
I didn't feel sympathetic for Suichi because Kumiko literally did not care at all about him in that way.
Yeah,
But
Kumiko.
like,
What do you think of Kumiko being super soon to
oh, I love
Suichi? And
love
like,
it. I love
so you were like Kumiko's like a big tsundere, and I was like, and I was like, okay. And then I watched, and she's only soon to Suichi, and then she's like nice to everyone else.
because she doesn't like. I don't know. I want to be like because she doesn't like him in that way, and I like that that's how they're showing it. If that's what they're going for, because you don't normally see that, so that's why I liked it. But back to like Mochi's or whatever, he was like sympathetic because I don't know. Like they were both really boring, but he just seemed more sympathetic because he wasn't like I don't know. Shuichi seemed like more cocky about his feelings for Kumiko. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it.
I don't know. Well, Suichi not super prominent either. I think he was okay. They tried more characterization with him than the other side
He's
characters,
so
but
boring.
he's a little boring.
But Mochizo was also really boring. So
Okay. Takuya and Riko were
okay, now
the
these people I do not know who they
they
are.
were the couple in the brass
Oh, okay.
section. Yeah,
The
I
brass.
thought that she was I thought she was
Brass.
Cowdy for a while, but
Oh my God, you're the
yeah.
worst.
Anyway, yeah, I did. There's their side characters too.
They were cute, but they were then there for like all of 2 seconds.
Natsuki Senpai.
Oh yes, I
She's
love her.
really so this is an interesting character. Like I like what they do with her because
Me too.
like how they present her kind of evolves with Kumiko's like view of the world. Like at first she seems like super serious, and then like once Kumiko warms up to her and sees that she's like pretty cool, then she's like super friendly to everyone. Like we just see more of her.
Yeah. I think it was more like when Kumiko was like getting good at euphonium or whatever. What's her name? Natsuki was like,
She's like,
okay, I'll like get more out there because she's inspiring me or whatever.
oh, maybe yeah,
That was how I felt about it,
interesting.
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was an interesting part when it was like Natsuki noticing that Kumiko was good and that she might not make the main roster. Yeah. Yuko, is that the blonde one?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
wait, sure. Here it comes.
Yuko is
I can't swear on here.
they try to do more things with her at the end, but like for most of it, all she does is like fawn over
Oh,
Kaori
it's Senpai.
Senpai. Yeah,
She's probably the gayest in the series, and
she really is.
mad.
And then
Like
she like has a thing with
Natsuki for
Natsuki
like
for a little
two
for like a
seconds.
second at the end. Yeah,
I don't know. People on Tumblr, I'm not sure what they ship, but I feel like I've seen those two before, and I was like, ah,
I
no.
could see that. I like that.
No, my God, no. Don't ship my senpai with that girl. She's the worst.
Aoi-chan, the childhood friend of Kumiko who quits the band partway through.
Oh,
I really
yeah.
like her model.
Mio's
She's super
voice.
cute, and Mia's voice apparently from K-On.
See, I don't really see the point of her because, like, she didn't
Yeah,
serve
I don't.
anything
Yeah,
towards the plot. But
she represented the conflict, the past conflict of
I
the band.
think she's important in the light novel.
I mean, she would. They're basing this off, like they write this off
No,
of
no, I'm
the
saying
light
she could
novel.
be more
So
important in the
she's
second
yeah. I
season,
mean, she was a big character for like 6 episodes, then she wasn't.
but like not really.
Taki Sensei. I think he's like a pretty interesting character. Taki Sensei.
He's. eh, I don't want to say he seems like a Mary Sue because we know nothing about him, but he's like literally.
Well, they like kind of hate him at first, and then it's like, oh, he's just
Well, yeah, no, he's kind of like a jerk, but that's
yeah,
his job.
and then he's like
So,
trying to. He's like, oh, he's trying to get us to be better. So I don't know. I wish they
and then
would have
like,
gotten more into his past with
Reina.
Reina. Like, what we don't even know what happened there. Maybe we'll learn later.
Yeah, they said that their fathers knew each other through work, and that's how they knew each other. So we'll probably see something later. I think there was like a picture that he had, and people were speculating that it was her, which is, if it is, very creepy.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We
So
had
hopefully we'll see
the
this series season.
Michie. I don't the homeroom teacher. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Oh, she's not
She wasn't
important.
that important. Yeah. Kumiko's older sister. I think we ran out of people. Okay. Yeah. Kumiko's older sister
Might
was
as
the
well like
first.
bring in her mom at that
Okay,
point.
let's count how many people this was because that was
Oh
a
my
lot of
God,
people we just went over. That's
Jesus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Did that
8,
cover everybody?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I feel like
No.
there's 14.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said 15. I
Oh
win.
man. Yeah, you got the under on that. Okay. So yeah, I feel okay. So like basically my big thing with this series is like other than the plot, which is like very boring, which like whatever.
Oh, come on.
That's always true. Like
Band is
the
fun.
band part of it is I feel like not as exciting as the K-On
Listen,
band
if
part.
you were
But then
ever in
again,
a band,
this focuses on the band more than K-On focused on the light club, right? Like the light music club. I feel like
uh, well, I wouldn't say that. It's just that in K-On! They were like dumb and they didn't,
they
they
just
didn't have like
never practiced. That's the thing.
they did. They tried to focus on it. Like that's what the anime was supposed to do, but the characters were like.
How disappointed would Kumiko be with all of the characters in K-On?
I think you mean Reina. She'd be
Reina too.
so
Yeah, I mean,
mad.
she
No,
Kumiko
Kumiko
cares.
didn't care until like.
Kumiko does care now, though.
Well, now she
Yeah,
cares, but Reina would be like, "Oh my God, get your stuff together,"
yeah.
and like be really pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking
So
about?
I feel like the characterization of the show really suffers just because there's 14 kind
I
of pseudo
agree.
leads in the show. I mean, the two of those weren't pseudo leads, but maybe 12 or so. The characters they focus on a lot, which is too much. But that's also like a product of the subject that they're covering. Any thoughts on the concert band plot lines overall? I
I
mean,
mean, I had fun with it because I did band in school for a little bit, so I was like able to relate to a lot of stuff. And I just like music a lot, so that's why I liked it. But otherwise, I mean, I don't know. From an outside perspective, I would say I guess it's boring, but it doesn't mainly focus on just like the music part. It's like I would say a lot of it is just like I don't want to be like a cliche and be like, oh, they're like trying to like tell you to have more confidence in yourself or whatever. But I kind of got that vibe
I mean,
from.
yeah, that's like yeah,
So
it's
it
like
was like that's the
all of
message
these
is
things.
try your hardest, kids, and that's
Gambare, that's the message.
gambare.
That's the message of all of Japan. There you
Yep,
go. Yep.
Nippon gambare.
Yeah,
That's what they
that's
say.
how it goes. So
You say that.
they do
And
they they say Nippon Gambare. I don't do that.
yeah, that's what they said after the earthquake.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Uh,
Move on.
so they have we focus more on the band stuff at the end, but like still, I don't. It's okay.
Well, did you find it boring as someone? I mean, have you ever been in band before?
No,
Did you
and
find
I
it?
found it pretty boring. Yeah.
Well, all right. I guess I have my answer.
I mean, I don't care though. Like I expect the main plot of these to be boring. Like it's always
Yeah,
like you look at all of these types of animes, and that's the same thing.
yeah. That's the thing though. Like with other, I'm trying to
Okay,
think of
so let's overall let's compare this to other KyoAni shows.
yeah, that's what I said. Like with Free, that was like I don't know. I mean, I've never been on like a swim team, but because it was so intense, I got into it. But this, I would say, was not as intense.
See, I also found the swimming really boring on Free.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't care.
yeah, I know. I don't want to say that's more of a show for girls, but I don't really know too many guys who are into that.
Let's. What about Domako Market? What is even the main plot in that?
I don't
I'm
know,
looking
man. You're
back
the
and
one
I'm
who
like,
introduced me to that.
what?
That show, like, honestly, I think they might have been on drugs when they did it.
I don't think
Be-
there's a plot to that show. That's okay.
no,
Like love Chubino and Other Delusions. I watched the first season of that. There's not really a plot to that show.
isn't there that?
You watched Hoyoka. What was the
I watched what?
watched Hoyoka, right? The
Um,
mystery one. Yeah.
no.
Wasn't you said
What's the
you
full title? You
it's
mean Kyokai no Kanata? No.
no, I don't know. I'm getting okay, there's
Oh wait.
Japan.
Oh,
Didn't you
the
see?
one
I
with
don't know.
wait. I think I
Kyoka?
wait. Let me look
That
this
was
up.
yeah.
Kyoka. I think I watched like 2 episodes of it.
Oh, okay. And you were bored by
Crap. Wait. Is it the? Oh, that's the one where the girls like Kimi Narimasu. I watched like, I think I watched half and I got bored. So I mainly watched it for the voice actors, and then it was really boring. But I should probably watch it again.
Anyway, look, what are the most prominent
Clannad.
what are the best KyoAni shows to you?
Clannad.
Clannad, yeah, we
Uh,
both kind of worship Clannad.
I mean, who doesn't?
I worship
Honestly.
Haruhi, and I don't think you do.
Okay, like
But
time out for a second. Anybody who's listening, if you haven't seen Clannad, turn this off and go watch it right now, and then cry, and then come back. What else has been there? It's Clannad, K-On. I would say
K-On, I think K-On is like so. I would say the top tier KyoAni shows are Haruhi,
Eh.
Lucky Star, and Clannad. And
But
then
Lucky Star is like
I think
it
Lucky
doesn't.
Star is legitimately good quality.
I
Like,
mean, it's hilarious,
and
but
then it's
there's
like
nothing
also
happening.
K-On! Is like incredible. It's like very good, but I feel like K-On's like I don't know. It's also very good. And then there's Canon, which is really good.
Eh.
Um,
I like Kyoken no Kanata a lot, actually. I would
and
recommend that.
and the Tomoka
How does
Market,
that
I feel
translate
like
to
is also
Beyond the Boundary? Tomoka's so boring. Oh my
yeah.
God.
I never saw anything about Kyoko no Tanata, honestly. Like I don't
I'm
see that
gonna.
much hype about
Well, in
it.
English, it's called Beyond the Boundary,
Yeah.
and it's what are the genres? It's action, supernatural, and urban fantasy. So you might not like it, but it was very good. And there was, I mean, there's like, I think there's romance in it. If that's a draw to anybody, I think it was very funny and interesting, and the animation was gorgeous. That was like the before Free, and this came out. It was my favorite animation wise. I think
So
it's
this show
probably
better or worse than that one?
uh better or worse than what?
BBK.
Oh God, they're totally different. I don't
Yeah.
know.
See,
I
I feel like Hibike. Like I like Tamako better than it.
better than Hibike?
Yeah, I think Hibike is
Yes.
better than Chuni, which a lot of people love, and I think it's not that good.
Yeah, everyone loves that show.
Yeah.
I haven't finished.
I think this is worse than K-On!, worse than Clannad, worse than Lucky Star, worse than Haruhi, worse than
Well, let's just say like nothing compares with Clannad, first of all.
first. I agree. Yeah,
First
sure,
and foremost, that is
sure.
like best anime of all time.
So I think this is like pretty good. It's I see. I feel like this is like an improvement based off of what KyoAni has done recently. Like I feel like
I
there's
would
been a
say
little bit
so.
of a dip in KyoAni's quality. Like I think
Uh,
this is better than the first season of Free. Granted, I haven't seen the second season, but
I don't know about that.
it,
Meh.
it's like since K-On!, I think KyoAni's struggled a little bit to recapture like that quality, and that's been years. So um,
I still don't think this series has really captured that quality. It's very different. That series was really,
I mean,
really
I don't think this is as good as
had a lot more humor.
as their prime, but I think it's closer than maybe some other ones. I don't know.
I would say Free might come closer just because of the humor aspect, but they're all really different series. It's hard to compare.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're all really different, but you should watch Beyond the Boundary because it's really good. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, I want to watch all the Kyoani series, so I haven't
Yeah.
seen
Oh
Nichoujo.
God.
People really like Nichoujo also.
Ichijo, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
I also,
Oh, that's a really funny one. I forgot about that.
and then
It's very funny.
their early stuff before Haruhi, I've seen a little bit of, and is okay.
There's a lot of, I mean, if you were gonna watch all of Kyoto Animation, you might
I mean,
want to
I've
like
seen most of it. I've seen over half of their series.
really.
I mean, like I didn't like FMP, Fumofo, and Air. Like I saw like over half of those, but I didn't like finish them because they weren't that good. But um, yeah,
Oh yeah, with Canon. That was the one I was thinking of.
Canon. Yeah,
I didn't like that one that
I
much.
like Canon a lot. I don't know. Okay, and hopefully Myriad's good. Anyway, that was kind of a weird.
Oh yeah, wait, is that coming out? That's the one that comes out
Yeah,
today.
Myriad. Yeah, it was like yesterday or today or something.
Well, it came out yesterday in Japan, I assume.
They had a lot of 2014 series, and then they just had
One.
one
It's
series last year.
2015.
That's interesting. Is free back this year though?
I think they had a movie at the end of the year. I think
Oh,
it aired in not aired, but like it was in theaters in Japan, I think. But
okay.
the second season should be coming out, or no, not second season. There's like some movie or something. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Or wait, it's right here. High Speed Free Starting Days came out on December 5th, and that I think is it right now for free,
Okay.
which was a prequel. So
Interesting. Okay.
boring, but gay.
So yeah, overall, back to Hibike.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I was impressed by the series, and I'm glad that we're having KyoAni go in like this more progressive areas.
I also really like the voice actors in it. I have to be honest. Like Kumiko's voice actress did like a really good job,
Kumiko's
and
voice actress is actually 19. That was like interesting.
that's it's ridiculous, and
Yeah.
she's that good.
Yeah.
I want to know how old Reina's is.
I mean, we can find out in like 2 seconds.
We can.
Reina's is 25.
Damn it. Okay.
There you go.
Well, I mean, it's legal.
Oh my god, I do think the voice acting was good for this series. Ignoring that comment, yeah. So
It was
there.
good. Well, I'm joking, but it was very, very good.
Okay. Other thoughts, miscellaneous thoughts about EBK.
Um, mm, I don't know. Do you have any?
No,
I'm
I think we're
blanking right.
good. We covered most things.
It was pretty good. I would say not the best, but I would agree with you in saying that like it's helping them get back on the horse in a lot of ways, like the studio in general.
Yeah. I mean,
The animation is
the
gorgeous.
animation's been constantly good. I think their narratives have
I
been
think it was
taken.
the thing that was different in the animation that stood out to me were how they animated the eyes. Actually, I think it was really nice. And
Interesting.
very different. They were much more like sparkly.
Much more like sparkly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ally, no, it's 2016, not 2017.
Alley 2016, much more sparkly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yay,
Yay.
we did it.
Check out the show. I hope people didn't listen until the end if they haven't seen it, but
I hope not.
I'm Dylan Nice, and that's Ally Martin. You can find out more about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. You can support us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, and Rachel, aka Hannah, Fever, Mitch, Cordell, University, Beatrix, James, Buzz, like your mailman, Rachel Rose.
That was not English just now.
I just rushed through the names, yeah, every time. Upcoming SU, we got Ruby and Ladybug this weekend, all that stuff. Cool. Coming up on the podcast. Yay, Allie, your first podcast. Yay.
Yay.
Let us know. Let Allie know your positive comments. He was number 1 on Tumblr with a Juan.
Yeah, he was number 1.
Juan.
Hopefully, people know me.
Yeah, she's the one you always see in that Korosami reaction post that goes around every few months.
It's me.
Yeah, and she's on the old podcast. There's a lot of people listening to the podcast. Okay.
So
Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks, Allie.
Do you end on anything for this?
No, we just say bye.
Oh, you don't want to say Safaya des?
Okay, we can. That's a good one you had to end on. You're right. You had that planned. Okay, let's do that. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Bye. Safaya.
Safaya des. Oh my god.